Mr. Thompson, how much is the discretionary element in your budget?
What do you mean by discretion?
Well, a large part of your budget is pre-spent, personnel, capital, that sort of thing. What sort of discretionary element do you have?
Well, we don't really recognise the term, but to try and respond to your question, when you enter any particular financial year, approximately 20% of the budget is uncommitted, and you'd have the ability to slow that expenditure or stop it.
What I'm driving at is there was paralysis because there was no SDSR, and so you were saying, well, we couldn't act because that had not taken place, yet we had an 800 million adjustment required that clearly had an effect. I'm trying to get a sense of is the actual flexibility you have in terms of your budget allocation.
Yeah, the flexibility is approximately 20% in any year, because you technically the 20% would include things like how much fuel that you're going to use, how many flying hours you're going to use, how much training you're going to have in any particular year, items which are scalable.
So that wouldn't be conditional on operational requirements in Afghanistan?
No, the operational requirements in Afghanistan are dealt with separately in terms of the claim on the reserve.
Yeah.
If I might answer your question, the answer was last financial year was £3,820 million was the
3 billion?
820 million was the claim on the reserve.
Right, and you were asked to find 300 million from your own budget as a contribution to the Afghanistan.
No, we weren't asked to. We chose to reprioritise in order to do some activities which don't fall within the scope of the claim that you can make against the reserve. There are some very tight rules about what you can and cannot claim against the reserve. So we chose to reprioritise 300 million to do some activities which were, if you like, pre-deployment and so on, which you could not claim against the reserve.
And when you're saying the 20%, that's not including reserves in terms of your flexibility?
No.
That's in the core budget. The report deals with this, Mr. Barclay, somewhere around about paragraphs 2.8 to 10, and makes the point that with approximately 75%, they say, of budget allocated in advance, the ability of the defence budget to respond to unexpected events in the short term is limited.
But I read that, Sybil, and I've just got a question.